Yeah, good evening, children in the offline class. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, online students. Raja Rajeshwari, Priyansha and Ananya.
Good evening.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You are visible.
Yes. Okay, is my presentation visible?
Yes.
Priyansha?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. No, is my presentation visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
All right. So offline students, look at the board. All right. Okay. So since students are online also, I can't look, meaning all of you in the class plus look at the students here. So I have to, look at the students here. But then I'm talking to all of us in the class too. Okay, any doubts, you can just sit in your place and ask me. Whatever questions you have. You don't have to wait for me to, like stop or something. Whenever any point of time you get a question in your mind, just ask me. Or if you think you have to wait for me to finish the explanation, finish and just ask me wherever you are. All right? All right, children. Fine. All right, so we started with quadratic equations. And this is the third session. I think we'll wind up with quadratic equations today. Tomorrow you will see an exam, an online exam on MCQs and case study questions. I'll let you know about that tomorrow. Just an information now. So we'll continue. Look at the first question. Solve for x by splitting the middle term. Okay. We'll just understand the questions, the nature of the questions here. So solve for x by splitting the middle term. You can see the questions below there, A, B, and C. All right. By splitting the middle term, not using the quadratic formula, by splitting the middle term. See the questions A, B, and C. And the next one, solve for x, any method. Any method, what are the three methods? Factorization, splitting the middle, factorization is splitting the middle term. Factorization is splitting the middle term. Then using the quadratic formula, completing the square, which we do not have. You're lucky you don't have that method this year. All right, so we have only two methods, factorizing by splitting the middle term and the quadratic formula. Okay, so the second question is solve for x, any method. Any method. So splitting the middle term or by using the quadratic formula. The third one is completing the square, which you can ignore. And 3A is completing the square, ignore that. And the fourth one is using the quadratic formula. All right. If nothing is mentioned, you can use any method. You can use splitting the middle term or the quadratic formula. And the last one, solve for x by again completing the square. So ignore that question. So let's see the answers for 1, 2, and 3. 3B. Yeah. So this is solving for x by splitting the middle term. All right. You can see what you see on the screen is the solution for A, x squared plus 5x minus of a squared plus a minus 6 is equal to 0. So this is the x squared term. It's a quadratic expression, as you can see, equation. Just a minute, I have to find my pointer. Yeah. So x squared, 5x, and this is the constant. This is the constant. X square term, x term, and this is the constant. See, you can see that this expression does not have an x or x square in it. It's a squared plus a minus 6. But the variable, the prime variable is x. Okay, so here there is no x or x term here. So that's the constant. That is the constant. X square term, x term, and the constant is equal to 0. Clearly, this quadratic equation is in the standard form. This quadratic equation is in the standard form because you can see the coefficient of x square 1, the coefficient of x plus 5, and the constant, which is minus of a square plus a minus 6. So it is in the standard form. Now, when it is in the standard form, you can easily get the values for the sum and product. What is the sum? Plus 5. We know that we've been learning since standard 8 or 9. So the sum is plus 5, and this is the product. This is the product. It's actually 1 into this. Correct? The coefficient of x square, 1 into this, but since it's 1, we just ignore. This is the product. This is the product. This one is the product. All right. So now we have to find two expressions. We have to find two expressions that satisfy the sum and the product. We have to find the two expressions that satisfy the sum and the product. So how do we find that? So take up this product. This itself is quadratic. The product itself is a quadratic expression. So you solve it by splitting the middle term. Like if it is a number, what would you do? If you had a number like say 81, then you would find the prime factors 327 times 3, 9z and so on to find the two numbers. Okay, to find the two numbers that satisfy the sum and product. Here you have an expression. Here you have an expression. So what can you do with it? First, factorize this expression by splitting the middle term. It's an expression, so factorize it by splitting the middle term. Why should you factorize? Because you have to find the two expressions that satisfy this product and sum. So how will you get the expressions? You will have to split the middle term here. Okay, and this part, and the factors, the two factors of this expression are a plus 3 and 2 minus a. Okay, so these are the required expressions, but you have to fix the sign accordingly. So these are the two expressions that will satisfy the sum and the product. But of course, you'll have to maybe fix a minus sign here and a plus, meaning minus here, whatever, combination of plus and minus sign, so that you get the sum and the product. Okay, this one will give you the product. You don't have to worry about the product. You'll have to check the sum here. You'll have to get the sum as 5. So let's check it as it is a plus 3 and 2 minus a. See here, a minus a cancels and 3 plus 2 is 5. Yeah, we got the sum. So as it is, they satisfy the sum. You don't have to make any changes with the sign. As it is, they satisfy the sum. When you factorize this expression by splitting the middle term, you get these two expressions. As it is, these two expressions satisfy the sum. Satisfy the sum. Product you don't have to check. They will the expressions will satisfy the product. So that's what I've just written this for you. These two expressions, the sum of these two expressions is 5, which is the required sum. You don't have to write that. That's just for you to, you don't have to mention this. Okay. Yeah. So now go back to the given quadratic equation. Go back to the given quadratic equation and split the middle term. The middle term is 5x. The middle term is 5x. Split the middle term now. So how will you split the middle term? You will use the expressions a plus 3 and 2 minus a. You will have to put an x here and an x here. Correct? You will have to just put an x here and an x here. Just a minute, children. Yeah, online children, I'm back. Thank you. Yeah. So we were talking about how to split the middle term. So we need to use these two expressions. We got these two expressions, right? A plus 3 and 2 minus a. Just fix an x, suffix and next to it. I'm going to have to find my pointer. Yeah. So use an x here. See, like when you find the numbers 5 and 6, don't you write 5x and 6x to split the middle term in the same way. In the same way here, fix an x here. So write the first term x square as it is. Write the last term, this one. Instead of writing this, write this one. It's the same, right? This expression is nothing but the product of these two. So write the first term as it is, x square, as we always do. And then instead of writing minus of this, write minus of this one. It's the same. The product of these two is this one. Okay, now don't put a minus, you have to put a plus. I'll tell you why, because I have taken minus here. The product is the whole thing is the product, right? So I've already considered the minus sign here. I've already taken the minus sign. See here. This is the product. The minus sign is also already considered here. So this one will give you this product including the minus sign. So it'll be a plus here. I'm not going back on my words. I just didn't notice the minus sign here initially. See here, this product is a plus 3 into 2 minus a along with the minus sign, because we've taken the minus sign here. So you shouldn't put another minus here. We've already considered the minus sign. So it'll be a plus here. It'll be a plus. So write the first term x square. And then this one, instead of writing that, write a plus 3 into 2 minus a, which is this product. The sign will be plus outside. And then the middle terms, a plus 3 of x and 2 minus a of x. Of course, it's plus only. Now, why plus sign? Because it is not minus of a plus 3. It's just a plus 3. So plus a plus 3 of x and plus 2 minus a of x. Is this part understood? Only if you say yes, I can proceed. Any questions still here? Please ask me. Any questions still here? Any questions still here, children? No. All right. Now, as usual, we group the first two terms. We group the first two terms, and the last two terms. So what's common? X square, x. X is common. Okay, so x into x is x square. Then x into a plus 3 is a plus 3 of x. X is common. X into x is x square. X into a plus 3 is a plus 3 of x. That's about the first and second term. Now, between the third and the fourth term, this is the third term, this is the fourth term. Between the third and the fourth term, 2 minus a is common. Only 2 minus a, not x. Only 2 minus a is common. So take out the common factor or the common expression, 2 minus a. Now, 2 minus a into x will give you the third term, 2 minus a of x. And 2 minus a into a plus 3 will give you the last term, a plus 3 of 2 minus a. So like this, we group the first two terms, last two terms, take out the common factor and finish this step. And after this, you can see that the brackets x plus a plus 3, x plus a plus 3, write that once, as we always do. X plus a plus 3 once, and x plus 2 minus a in the other bracket. Anything can be written first. You could write this first and then this, any order. That's what we always do, right? That's what we always do. See, this bracket and this bracket is the same thing. You must have the same thing. You must have the same thing. Write that, and then gather these two and write them in another bracket, like this, right? So then after that, we are done. We found, we found the factors. The product of this and this is 0, which means either this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. So when you equate this one, when you equate this to 0, you get x is equal to, see, it's plus a plus 3. So on the other side, this plus becomes minus. A plus 3 as it is, I've written. The sign before a plus 3 is plus before the bracket. So that becomes minus. And then open the bracket, minus a, minus 3. This you can solve it however you want, meaning it's not that you should do it like this. You could take the individual terms to the other side. Plus a becomes minus a, plus 3 becomes minus 3. So minus a minus 3, that's left to you. What I have done is taken this as it is to the other side, and this plus becomes minus. Then here also, as it is, this one to the other side, and this plus becomes minus on transposing. So that means x is equal to, open the bracket, x is equal to, what's the pointer every time? 1 second. Yeah. So on opening the bracket, x is equal to minus a minus 3 minus 2 plus a, correct? Which is nothing but a plus 2, a minus 2. Yeah. So if you have to, if you're given this expression, sorry, this equation, and asked to solve for x by factorizing or by splitting the middle term, this is what you should do. It's a quadratic equation. You can see the x square term, the x term, and the constant. The constant itself is an expression, and you have to factorize this by splitting the middle term. Supposing you're asked to factorize or solve for x only by splitting the middle term, then you should know this method. So take the product. The product itself is a quadratic expression. Find the factors. By splitting the middle term, find the factors. Using these two factors, you will have to find the required expression, required expressions to split the middle term of the given equation. So nothing much can be done. You just have to fix the plus or minus sign and check so that you get the sum 5. Then split the middle term as we always do. Group the first two terms, last two terms, and find the values of x. Yeah, children, I told you we will not have time to write in the class, because if I give you now 5 minutes to write, yeah, I can do another sum in that time, and it's a revision session. So I'll be explaining. All this will be sent to you on WhatsApp, and you have to finish it by the next revision class on Sunday. So you have sufficient time. All right. Finish it by the next revision class on Sunday. This is as good as writing, no? You understood well? Yes or no? Online students, any questions?
No.
Please answer.
No.
All right. So these are the same. I'll just talk about splitting the meaning. I'll just talk about this product here. So here, how do we factorize the product? How do you factorize the product? See here, minus into minus plus a square minus b square. So this is like a difference of two squares. This product here, okay, when you apply the minus sign inside, this is a square minus 4b square, which can be written as a the whole square minus 2b the whole square. So how do you factorize that? X square minus y square, x plus y into x minus y, x plus y into x minus y. So these are the two expressions that will satisfy the product, but not the sum. So you'll have to fix the signs now. See, these two will satisfy the product. Minus of 4b square minus a square. See, I've taken the sign also. So here you should put a plus sign, because I've taken it along with the sign. You have to know product you should take with the sign. You cannot ignore the sign for the product here. You have to take it with the sign. Okay, so this product a plus 2b into a minus 2b will give you this product. But does it satisfy the sum? That you will have to check. So you have to do that, plus minus, fix a minus to this and a plus to this, and work the sum. Like if this is minus and this is plus, so it will be minus a minus 2b and a minus 2b, because if we take a plus, I'm saying, so you will get minus 4b. No, the sum is minus 2a. So like that, you will have to keep, applying the signs and try to get the required sum. So if you take it as it is, you take it as it is, a plus 2b and a minus 2b as it is. So what happens? This gets cancelled. A plus a is 2a. No, the sum is minus 2a. So like what you do with numbers, when you have numbers 5 and 3, you try plus 5 and minus 3. Then you will try minus 5 minus 3, or you may try minus 5 and plus 3. Like this, you do the same thing for this. Fix different signs for the expression and expressions, and try which pair will give you the sum as minus 2a, not just 2a, minus 2a. So when you do that, you have to take minus of a plus b and minus of a minus 2b. So see here, that will be minus a minus 2b and minus a plus 2b. All right. So this gets cancelled and this is minus 2. So which is the sum, required sum. So again, you don't have to mention the step. It is not needed. I've just shown the sum there. Now the same thing, children. Same thing here. Split the middle term, group the first two terms, last two terms, and then these are the values of x. I just wanted to talk about this one. So here the earlier one, we factorized by splitting the middle term. Here, how did we factorize this expression? This expression by splitting the middle term. And here it's not by splitting the middle term. This one. This is not by splitting the middle term. Difference of two squares. X square minus y square is x plus y into x minus y. All right. Same thing here. So this is also, you can see the sum is like this. So the product, split the middle term, get the two expressions, fix the sign. So it is minus of b plus 4 and minus of b minus 5. All right. So now here this is solve. So this was A, B, and C. Solve for x by splitting the middle term. Factorize by splitting the middle term. Factorize and hence find the values of x. All right. So here solve for x any method. Any method. Okay. So this is like I think more or less 8th standard. You can see this one is minus 4ax. So that means if you treat this as a middle term, because all these are perfect squares. All these are perfect squares. These are perfect squares. Okay. This one x square minus not minus 4x. Yeah, x square minus b square. Okay, leave the minus. So b square and 4a square, they're all perfect squares. So maybe you can think of this as the middle term. Minus 4ax as the middle term. It has a and x in it, a and x. So the square terms must be x square and 4a square. If the middle term has a and x in it, if the middle term has a and x in it, so probably you would like to group it with x square and 4a square. You can try to group. You'll have to check if it works. You can group x square minus 4ax and plus 4a square. Why should you group these three? Or how do you know that we have to group these three? Because if you treat this one as the middle term, if you treat this as the middle term, this has a and x in it. So then this one is a square, perfect square. This one is x square, perfect square. So maybe you can group these three terms and have this minus b square alone. So see here. So you can see your children, I've grouped x square minus 4ax and plus 4a square. Not the first three terms, sorry, this one, and this one. Okay, and then this minus b square alone. Minus b square stands alone outside the bracket. So we have grouped these three. Minus b square is equal to 0. So these three terms, they're of the form a square minus 2ab plus b square. These three, a square minus 2ab plus b square, which can be written as a minus b the whole square. A square minus 2ab plus b square, which can be written as a minus b the whole square. And this minus b square, which is again minus b the whole square, is equal to 0. Now this is a difference of two squares. This one now is a difference of two squares. This is actually 8th standard. This is 8th standard. So this is a difference of two squares again. So how do you do this? X square minus y square is x plus y into x minus y. See here, this is x plus y. What is x? This is the x term. Or if you say p square minus q square, the p term is x minus 2a and the q term is b. So p plus q, this is p, x minus 2a plus b plus q, and p, x minus 2a minus q minus b. P plus q into p minus q, p square minus q square. This is like p square minus q square. So how do you factorize that? P plus q, p minus q is equal to 0, and then equate each factor to 0. Equate each factor. These are the two factors. Equate each of them to 0 and find the values of x. and find the values of x. You can also solve this by using the quadratic formula. That is the, the other one you have, quadratic formula. For that, what you have to do, the quadratic formula, to solve by the quadratic formula, it is in the standard form, x squared minus 4ax minus b squared plus 4a squared. It is in the standard form, is equal to 0. So a is 1, a is 1, b is, let me use a capital A. A is 1, the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x, which is minus 4a. And C is all the others, which do not have x or x square in it. A is 1, the coefficient of x square. B is minus 4a, which is a coefficient of x. And C is the constant or the expression that does not have x or x square in it. So then now you know how to use the quadratic formula. You'll need to first find the discriminant, which is given by b square minus 4ac. Find the discriminant, which is given by b square minus 4ac. And then the quadratic formula, x is equal to, what's the quadratic formula? Hitesh? Minus b plus or minus? Okay, so if you find the discriminant, then you can say minus b plus or minus root d by 2a. Minus b plus or minus root d by 2a. Yeah, and then you know how to proceed. So, meaning use the formula and find the values of x. There is one x square term. In the given equation, there is only one x square term. There's only one x square term, one x term, and this is the constant. So it's easy to get the values of a, b, and c. This is a, this one is b, this one is b, and this whole thing is c. This whole thing is c. So you have only two methods, factorize and quadratic formula. So this is how you use the quadratic formula, and factorizing we have done here. If you want to do it by that other method, we learned here, we learned here, this method. Then I'll not do it now, but I can only tell you how you have to go about it. See here, then you have to write it as x square. We'll have to write it as x square minus 4ax plus 4a square minus b square. All right, so x square minus 4ax, this one, this plus 4a square minus b square is the constant. This is the constant or the product. What's the sum? What's the sum? Minus 4a. You don't have to do this. When you have a simpler process, you don't have to do it, but I'm just telling you, if at all you want to try it this way, the sum is minus 4a and the product is 4a square minus b square. So this can be written as 2a the whole square minus b the whole square. All right, so this is 2a plus b into 2a minus b. You can see the factors finally also, 2a minus b and 2a plus b. See here. So if you want to split the middle term like that, you can do it either ways. This is the 8th standard method. What you see here on the screen, what I've worked already is the 8th standard method. If you want to do it, in the 10th standard way, then this is what you have to do. Both are fine. You can also do it like this. But if you want to do it in the way we learned here, then you have to do this. 4a square minus b square is 2a the whole square minus b the whole square, which is 2a plus b into 2a minus b, 2a minus b. Let's see how we'll get the sum. The sum is minus 4a, right? So it should be minus 2a minus 2a. See here, write out the two expressions you have. What is the sum? Minus 4a. How will you get a minus 4a? Only a minus 2a will give you a minus 4a. Only a minus 2a can give you a minus 4a. So these are the two expressions. So see here, minus 2a minus b and minus 2a plus b. So 4a minus 4. Minus 4a is a sum. So it has to be minus 2a and minus 2a. So minus 2a minus b. And minus into minus is plus. Understand all of you? Yeah, so these are the two expressions you need to use to. Please write this one. Don't write this one. This is to check But write this, splitting the middle term, write it like this. Write this and put an x here. Or if it is y square, put a y here. If it is in y, if the equation is in y, then put a y there. Yeah, online students, if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can take a screenshot. And offline students can make a note if you want.
Which of the methods can we write in a notebook?
No, the one which is in the presentation, the one which I did not annotate, which is already there, you don't have to write. The one which I've annotated, you can make a note.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, online students, tell me the video and audio quality. I should. Is it as always?
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay. Rajarajeshwari, Priyansha, Priyasha, and Sashmi.
It is clear, ma'am.
All right. Priyasha and Sashmi.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Good. Yeah, I'll just come back. Done, children? Yeah. Yeah, so this is no different. Again, you have to use that in the class today, then yeah, that first method, then this is what a plus b into a minus b. This will be a plus b into a minus b. So you'll have to fix the signs and split the middle term if you're doing that first method. What you see here is the 8th standard method. A simpler version. You can always do this. We learned ABCD in LKG and UKG, but we still write that now, no? So you can always do this. You'll get full marks. So this is, so how do you decide how to group? How do you decide? Look at this one. These are perfect squares, 4x squared, a square, b square. These are perfect squares. So this can be the middle term. This can act as the middle term, 4bx. And what does it have? What are the algebraic factors there, b and x? That means you're looking for a b square and x square. This is a perfect square, 4x squared, b. Okay, open the bracket. I think I should come from there. Open the bracket, so it'll be minus a squared and minus into minus plus b squared. To use this method, you'll have to open up the bracket. You'll have to free all the terms. Now we have 4 terms. Okay, of the 4 terms, 3 are perfect squares. These 3 are perfect squares. So this is that 4th term in which the algebraic factors are b and x. So you're looking for a b squared and x squared. So you'll have to group 4x square, this one being the middle term 4bx and the plus b square minus a square stands alone. Minus a square stands alone. You can use a bracket. You can put a bracket here like this. Put a bracket here like this. So this is of the form a square plus 2ab plus b square. A square plus 2ab plus b square, which is a plus b the whole square, plus b the whole square, and minus a square or minus a the whole square. Now this is a difference of two squares, p square minus q square. This is a difference of two squares. So factorizing, we get p plus q into p minus q. P, this is p, this is q. P plus q. P minus q. P plus q into p minus q, because this is p square. See, a p square minus q square. Difference of two squares. P square minus q square is p plus q into p minus q. So we got this product is equal to 0. So to find the values of x, equate each of these factors to 0. So either this is 0, this one is 0, or this one is 0. Is 0. And what are you solving for? You're solving for x. So have the x on one side, transpose the others. Take b and a to the other side. Have x on one side. Have x on one side and transpose these to the other side. Because you're solving for x, you're not solving for a or b, you're solving for x. So you know 2x is equal to minus a minus b, x is equal to minus a minus b by 2. On the other side, you have x is equal to a minus b by 2. So these are the two values of x. And if you're using the quadratic formula, see, I told you this is the factorization method. You can also split the middle term. For that, this one will be a plus b into a minus b, I told you, and you'll have to fix the signs accordingly and split this middle term. You should get the sum as plus 4b. You must get the sum as plus 4b. Or if you want to use a quadratic formula, then a is equal to 4. If you want to use a quadratic formula, then a is 4. B is, what is B? For B. And what is C? Minus a square plus b square, or minus of a square minus b square, whatever. If you don't remove the bracket, then it is minus of a square minus b square, like this. Okay, then you know how to apply the quadratic formula. You'll have to find D. Yeah, that you know. So you can do it in any method. The method is not fixed. If it's a quadratic equation, you can find the values of x using any method. But factorization is not always easy. Factorization, finding the factors by splitting the middle term is not always easy. But we will get, if at all you have a question in the exam for which you will have to solve for x by factorizing, it will be easy enough for you. But it's not always. There are equations where it's difficult to find the two expressions to split the middle term. So you can always use a quadratic formula. You can always use a quadratic formula. Quadratic formula is, you know, like a lifesaver. So like any equation, whatever, however complicated it is, you can use a quadratic formula. So if you have a choice, solve for x, any method, use a quadratic formula. Try to split the middle term. If you're getting it, fine. Otherwise, don't spend a lot of time. Use a quadratic formula. Fine, children. In some time, I'm getting the projector screen. So for now, you manage. I can, but it is kind of visible. No, it's not very bad. Yeah. Another 2-3 days, we'll get the screen, and then it will be very clear. Yeah. Look at this one. Okay, see the question. Solve for x by the method of completing the square, which we do not have, and using the quadratic formula. So we'll see only by using the quadratic formula. Solve for x by the method of completing the square and using the quadratic formula. So I think, see here, the quadratic formula is in the third column. The quadratic formula is in the third column. So this is the given quadratic equation. value of A, B, and C. Find D, which is B square minus 4AC, B square minus 4AC. So B square, 7 square, 49. 4AC, 4 into A into C. So which is 9. D is equal to 9. The value of D is 9. Now, how do you find X? X is equal to minus B. B is 7. Minus B, minus 7. Plus or minus root D. Root D. D is 9. So root D is root 9. Don't write only 9. It's root D. Minus B plus or minus root D. So root of 9. Don't write 9. Root 9 by 2A. 2A. 2 into root 2. A is root 2. So 2A is 2 root 2. And root 9 is plus or minus 3. Plus or minus. So minus 7 plus or minus 3 by 2 root 2. And then you know how to finish it. You can see the answer. Yeah, see after that. So this is a quadratic equation which we have solved by using the quadratic formula. Now see this one. How do you solve this? So again, it's in the standard form. You can see x squared minus root 3 plus 1 of x plus root 3 is equal to 0. It is in the standard form. You can see the x square term. You can see the x term. This is the x term, x and its coefficient, and this is the constant. Plus root 3 is the constant. It is in the standard form. The given quadratic equation is in the standard form. The x square term, this is the coefficient of x, and this is the constant, is equal to 0. Now, if you have to solve this using the quadratic formula, you can see that on the next slide. Now, we'll solve it by splitting the middle term. Okay, so always release the bracket. Always free the terms from the bracket. Kanishka, you'll have to see here. What happened? You're thinking of the dance steps, huh? 1, 2, 3. You're tired. Okay. All right. So release the terms from the bracket. So you have x squared minus root 3x minus x plus root 3 is equal to 0. All right. Apply the minus sign. Minus root 3x minus x is equal. Oh, sorry. X squared minus root 3x minus x plus root 3 is equal to 0. Now see here. When can you factorize by grouping? When can we factorize by grouping? When we have 4 terms, 1 x square term, 2 x terms, and 1 constant. When you have 1 x square term, 2 x terms, and 1 constant like this, then you can do the grouping. Then you can do the grouping, 8th standard grouping. So how should the terms look like for that? There should be 1 x square term, 1 x square term, 2 x terms, and 1 number, 1 constant. Then you can try by grouping the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. You can try. See here, x square term, 2 x terms. When it was in the standard form, there was only 1 x term. But when you release the terms from the bracket, you have 2 x terms. And then there's this constant. So you can try to factorize this by grouping the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Okay. So group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. X is common, x minus root 3, minus 1 is common, x minus root 3 is equal to 0. Yeah, it is working. So x minus root 3 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. X minus root 3 is equal to 0. X is equal to root 3, or x minus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to 1. So use this method. If it is just solve for x, simply solve for x without the mention of any method. Simply solve for x. Then simply use this method. You can finish it faster. But if it is specified, use the quadratic formula. You have to use the quadratic formula. Then it is like this. Yeah, go through. I'm not explaining this. Please go through this. I have to tell something here, but you just go through the answer first. Okay, so I want to tell you about b square minus 4ac, how you have to work with b square minus 4ac. So see here, b square, this is b. See here, this is b, this one is b. So b square, how do you write b square? Don't write minus root 3 plus 1 the whole square like this. It's not like this. Okay, it's not like that. Whatever is b, put the entire thing in a bracket and square it. Because the minus also should be squared. Minus into minus is plus. If you write b like this, if you write b, this is b and b square. I did b square. No, this is wrong. Minus is also there. This minus, this also should be squared. See, it is, if it's minus 2 square, it's not minus 4, right? Minus 2 square like this. It's not minus 4. When it's minus 2 square, you should be specific. Minus 2 the whole square like this. Because minus is not alone. So when you say minus 2, the minus is for 2. When you say minus 2, this minus is for 2. So square should be for the whole thing. So minus 2 into minus 2 is plus 4. Similarly here, don't forget to include the minus sign in the bracket. B square is this one. So you can see that here, B and square. Minus 4ac, minus 4 into A into C. So now what happens when you square this minus into minus plus? That's why in the next step you cannot see the minus sign. In the next step you can't see the minus sign because minus into minus is plus. And then this one, root 3 plus 1 the whole square. Minus 4 root 3. Or you can instead have it as it is. You can have it as 4 into 1 into 1 into root 3 itself. You don't multiply. Now go back to this identity. What's the identity? A plus B the whole square. Yeah, tell me. No, okay. A plus B the whole square. No, darling, not that. A plus B the whole square is equal to, or A plus B the whole square minus A minus B the whole square is equal to 4AB. Okay, the new students, oh, Subhalakshmi is here, so yeah, you also write on, in fact, all of us can write on these 3 identities. A plus B the whole square minus A minus B the whole square is equal to 4AB. Then A plus B the whole square plus A minus B the whole square is equal to 2 of A square plus B square. So from the first one, we get A plus B the whole square is equal to A minus B the whole square plus 4AB. Or you also get from the first one, A minus B the whole square or A plus B the whole square minus 4AB is equal to A minus B the whole square from the first one. From the first one on, okay, let me write it like this. Don't worry, I'll write it again, children. Don't worry, you see here. The first one is A plus B the whole square minus A minus B the whole square is equal to 4AB. We get 2 things on transposing. On transposing, we get 2 different identities. We get A plus B the whole square is equal to A minus B the whole square plus 4AB on transposing. The other one is A plus B the whole square minus 4AB is equal to A minus B the whole square. So you can just remember this and then transpose to get the other 2. The other one is A plus B the whole square plus A minus B the whole square is equal to 2 of A square plus B square. These identities we have used extensively in the chapter polynomials. In the chapter polynomials, we've used these identities. Yeah, make a note of this. Priyasha, and for the online students, whatever I annotate, if you feel you want it, you have to write down. Because what I'll be sharing on WhatsApp is only the presentation slides. I'll be sharing only the slides which I'm presenting on WhatsApp. Whatever I annotate, you will not receive. So take this as a standing instruction. Anything you need or you need to make a note of, which I annotate, please write down. All of you here also in the class. All right. So that's what we do here. That's what we do here. See here, this is a plus b the whole square minus 4ab. See here, a plus b the whole square minus 4 into a into b. A plus b the whole square minus 4ab. What is a plus b the whole square minus 4ab? A minus b the whole square. What is a plus b the whole square minus 4ab? A minus b the whole square. Because you always wish the discriminant is a perfect square. Because root d, no? Root d. So you always keep your fingers crossed. You want d to be a perfect square. Then you somehow feel that the answer is right. If d is a perfect square, we somehow feel, okay, my answer is right because d is a perfect square. So d mostly is a perfect square. But at least when it comes to expressions like this, d is a perfect square. Okay, so now this is what is this? A plus b the whole square minus 4ab, which is a minus b the whole square. So see the next step. See the next step. A plus b the whole square minus 4ab is a minus b the whole square using the identity. Using the identity. So you must tell yourself, you should tell this line. So you use this identity when you find the discriminant in quadratic equations. This identity a plus, you can remember this main thing, you know, this one, a plus b the whole square minus a minus b the whole square is equal to 4ab. This identity, either this way or this way, either this way or this way, will be used to find the discriminant. Not always, but sometimes in some cases will be useful in finding the discriminant in quadratic equations. You should remember like that. All right. So it's a minus b the whole square. You understand, right? This is a plus b the whole square minus 4ab is a minus b the whole square. So actually it's a relief when d is a perfect square. Okay, because there's already a root there. So root and root, like you want it to be a perfect square. So now this is the whole square. So it is a perfect square. So actually in the exam, when you get this, you will smile to yourself because some feeling of relief, you know, that you're working it right. So then this is the formula, x formula and minus b. This is b, right? This is b minus b. So minus into minus plus. This is b minus of this is plus. So you can see here minus b plus or minus root d. What is d? This full thing is d. This full thing is d. See d by 2a, 2 into 1, 2a. Then after that, yeah, just simplifying. So it's like you don't cancel, but the square root and the square you can eliminate. You shouldn't do that. Don't cancel like this. I'm just telling you. The whole square and square root. So it will be root 3 minus 1. Yeah. Then the rest you can follow. Online students, use the emoji, raise your hand. Ananya, Rajarajeshwari. Priyasha. Are you there, Sashmin? Okay, then further it is plus and this one, then minus and this one. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So root 3 or 1. That's what we got here also, no? Oh, I cleared that. Okay, that's what we got when we split the middle term. Do it again. When you open the bracket, x squared minus root 3x minus x plus root 3 is equal to 0. X is common, x minus root 3 minus 1 is common, x minus root 3 is equal to 0. So x minus root 3 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to root 3 or x is equal to 1. So you can go for this method if nothing is mentioned. Otherwise, quadratic, for any method, you should get the same roots. Root 3 and 1. So when can you group like the first two terms and the last two terms? You must have the four terms like this. The first term should be an x squared term. The second and third terms must be x terms. And finally the constant. Or y squared, two y terms and the constant, whatever it is. Okay. So quadratic formula and factorizing, we have understood. Completing the square you don't have, so we'll not do that now. Yeah, did we do the sixth one in this? Tell me. We already did, right? Yeah, now work this. All of you work this. Online students, work this one. Quick. Find the positive value, the expression. Next class, all of you, get all your question models. If you have more than one, get all your models. We need to check those. Okay, next class. No, I just stress writing. Writing class something without write also. Okay.
We've done this before, Mom.
Yeah, we have worked this earlier. That's what I want to check how much you remember. Work this now. We have already done this earlier. Very good. So the machine is good. What's the value of it? 3. Very good. So the solution is one, right, with all the steps. The positive value of x is 3. Very good. I think the first session itself, first session, yeah. Online students. Ananya, you were right when you said we have already done this, but have you got the answer now?
Yes, ma'am. X equal to -3 or X equal to 3.
Yeah, share a picture.
1 second.
Very good. So here in the class, Subbalakshmi has worked it right. What about Sashmin and Rajarajeshwari?
I too have got the answer now.
Yeah, share your picture. The others have a look at the answer.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I worked it in pencil.
That's okay. I'm happy that your pet did not call you to play today. Very good. Ananya. Rajarajeshwari. Very good. So here the positive value of x is 3. The value of x is 3. Yeah, write down. Others, practice now. If you have not got the answer, please work it now. All right. Completing the square we don't have. Okay. So these are some standard questions. Solve for X. All right. So what we do is now we have on the LHS, you can see this is what we have. Yeah, this is what we have in the left hand side. And we have 3 terms on the right hand side. All right. Now this in the left hand side here, we have X. We have X. And in the right hand side, we have an X term here, 1 by X. So transpose this. Transpose this. That is, we are having the terms which have X on one side and the terms which do not have X on the other side. Remember the start. If you, these are standard questions. Maybe you will say, what if I do that? What you do something, you'll maybe get the answer, but you might take hours to get it. So when you start it in a particular way, you end up with the answer more easily and quickly. So here the idea is gather the terms that have X. If you see X in any, now here there are 4 terms in all. In the equation, there are 4 terms. So there are 2 terms which have X in it. Have those 2 terms on one side and the terms which do not have X on the other side. So these 2 have the X terms and here there is no X. So we have it on the other side. Now, that's the first step. Then common denominator. What can you do with this? You have to take the LCM. Nothing else. What can you do with this? You have to take the common denominator. So the common denominator is X into this one. X into this is the common denominator. X into this is the common denominator. So you can see here X into A plus B plus X. That's a common denominator. So here we have this one. In this term, in the first term here, we have this part. So we'll have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by X. We'll have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by X. Denominator is a common denominator. So leave the denominator. So multiply the numerator by X. 1 into X is X. Minus. And here the denominator is X. That means this one. This one is not there. So we should multiply the numerator with A plus B plus X. So what will you get? Minus this minus. And in the bracket, because 1 into anything is the same thing. So in the bracket, A plus B plus X. Just like taking the LCM. So like if you have 1 by 7 minus 1 by 5, the common denominator is 35. What will you do? This one you'll multiply by 5 and this one by 7. 5 ones are 5. 1 5 is 5 and 1 7 is 7. Like this. Same thing. Same thing. 7 5 are 35 is the common denominator. Similarly, here this into this is the common denominator. To the numerator here multiply X. And to the numerator here, multiply this one, A plus B plus X. Because here the denominator is this one, that is, this is there. This denominator is there. So multiply by X. And here there is X. There is X. So multiply by this one. Multiply by A plus B plus X. Okay. So common denominator, and then getting the numerators correctly is equal to here the same thing. Common denominator is AB. Common denominator AB, and then this is into B and this is into A. So B plus A. That's the first step. So first step is actually having the X terms on one side and the others, the terms which do not have X in it on the other side. Then common denominator on both the sides. Open up the bracket here. Release the terms from the bracket. Release these 3 terms from the bracket and you understand this one. Denominator as it is. You can write this B plus A as A plus B by AB. That's the next step. Plus X minus X cancels. We have minus A minus B here and we have A plus B here. So somehow we want to make this also A plus B so that you can dash out A plus B and A plus B. Okay, so what you can do with this one is, see, X and minus X gets cancelled. So then this one is minus of A plus B. You can take a minus common and write it as A plus B. So that you can cancel A plus B and A plus B. Okay, so in the next step, this gets cancelled. In the next step, minus is common. You bring out minus and in the bracket you would have A plus B. A plus B divided by this one as it is. Don't open the bracket here in the denominator. Don't do that now. Write it as it is. And then this A plus B by AB. Now a plus b gets cancelled in the numerator on both the sides. Now if you ask me how, see this one, if you bring it to the other side, it will come for division, right? If you bring this a plus b to the other side, if you transpose, it will come for division here, it will come down here. It will come down here as a plus b. So a plus b and a plus b will get cancelled. So that instead of transposing and then cancelling, you can cancel it as it is like this. So then you have -1. Okay. Then cross multiply. That's all you can do. Here you have 1 and here you have -1. Cross multiply. When you cross multiply, here this is 1. Okay. So when you cross multiply, you get a into x, ax, bx, and x square. When you cross multiply, this is 1. So you'll get ax, bx, and x square is equal to, when you cross multiply here, you get -ab. -ab. Now bring everything to the same side and arrange it like this. One x square term, two x terms, and the constant. See here, there is one x term, x square term. Write that as the first term. There are two x terms, the second and the third term. And this one does not have x or x square in it. So that is the constant. And here we have 4 terms, of which one is an x square term, 2 x terms, and 1 constant. So we know we can proceed ahead by grouping the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. So x is common, b is common, x plus a and x plus b. X plus a is equal to 0. X plus a is equal to 0. So x is equal to -a. X plus b is equal to 0. X is equal to -b. Simple. So you just have to make the right start. You just have to make the right start. There is x here. How many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. How many terms have x in it? This one and this one. Gather them on the same side. You don't have to bring them to the LHS, any side, but they should be on the same side, that's all. And have the remaining 2 terms on the other side. We start by taking the LCM. Don't disturb the denominators on both the sides. Numerator, when you open the bracket, cancels, minus common a plus b gets cancelled on both the sides. Cross multiply, you get 4 terms. Arrange them in this order: x square, x terms, constant. 1 x square term, 2 x terms, and constant. So group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms and solve to find the values of x. -a, -b. Standard question. If this comes for the exam, it will come as it is with no changes. There'll be no changes in the sign as it is. Now I can see the light glare on the board. So when I get the screen, that will not be there. So don't worry, don't let that not be your concern. Once I get the screen, you will not see that also. It will be, it is clear today, but it will be better when we get the screen. Any questions, children? Any questions, online students?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to explain this. Don't take a screenshot, online students, don't take a screenshot. I'm going to explain this. And then you try this by yourself. Only then you will believe that it's easy. Again, this is a standard question. But this is slightly different from the first one. It's slightly different from the first one. So what do we do here? Again, we have 4 terms. You can see here, we have 4 terms. One, 2, 3, 4 terms we have. Okay. We have something like a by b here. We have something like b by a here. A by b, b by a. So what you do is, with this a by b, with this term which has a by b, take this b by a. And with this term which has b by a, take this a by b. There are 4 terms. The first step is you bring everything to the same side. You bring everything to the same side, like you transpose this and this. So how will they come to the side? Minus a by b and minus b by a. How will these two terms come to the left hand side? They come as minus a by b and minus b by a. Now you need to pair this. See, like this one should make friends with this one. Oh no, this one should make friends with this one. Opposite poles attract each other, right, in a magnet? Yeah, so this is b by a. So this is attracted to a by b. And this is a by b. This is attracted to b by a. Transpose is equal to 0, is equal to 0. They go to the other side as minus a by b and minus b by a. Minus b by a becomes friends with this one. And minus a by b becomes friends with this one. So you can see here, you can see the first term and that minus b by a. Why minus? Because it's transposed. And then plus this term. And then this one minus a by b is equal to 0. That's the first step. If you can write this correctly, the rest of the answer you will get easily. So the next step is the common denominator. You have to take the common denominator. That is the next step. So see here the common denominator. A into x minus b, b into x minus c. Then we have x minus b here, x minus b. So you should multiply this one by a. Here we have a. So you should multiply by x minus b. Yes or no, children? Do we understand that part, the LCM part? All of you? Okay. So this one is x minus b, so multiply by a. This one is a, so multiply by x minus b. And here also x minus a, so multiply by b. There's b here, so multiply by x minus a, x minus a. So that's what you see in the next step. See here, this one. By is equal to 0. Now open up the brackets. In the numerator, not in the denominator now. Don't disturb the denominator. In the numerator, open the bracket. You know that. You know how to open the brackets in the numerator. Is equal to 0, denominator as it is. Now, what gets cancelled? Just see if something is getting cancelled. If you look carefully, see here ax, bx, a square, b square, ax, bx, a square, b square. At first, we are not bothered about the sign. Don't consider too many things. Don't consider too many things. First, you consider only the terms ax, bx, a square, b square, ax, bx, a square, b square. Then we'll, bother about the signs. Then we'll bother about the signs. First, only about the terms. So now you see that the terms are the same, except the difference in the signs. So what you actually see, they have the opposite signs. See here, this is plus ax, this is minus x. This is minus bx, this is plus bx. This is minus a square, this is plus a square. This is plus b square, this is minus b square. Sorry, yeah, minus b square. Exactly the opposite. So how can you make these terms look exactly like this? By taking a minus outside common. If you take a minus outside, this will become plus, this will become minus, this will become minus, this will become plus, and bracket like this. That is what is the next step. And this minus into plus will become minus. The terms in the numerator, they are the same except for the signs. So what you have to do is you'll have to take a minus common, write all these terms in a bracket. So they all will have the opposite signs inside the bracket. They'll all have the opposite signs in the bracket. That is what is the next step. So you can see when this minus comes here, minus into plus is minus. Now you cannot cancel, children. You can actually, if you had it on the other side, you can cancel. This also will get cancelled. But the thing here is there is x here. If you cancel this, you will lose one value of x. If you cancel, you lose one value of x. So now the terms are the same in the numerator. See, you cannot cancel this and this. When it's on either side, you can cancel. See, if you have x by b is equal to x by c, then you can cancel. If you have x by b minus x by c is equal to 0, you cannot cancel x and x. You can't do that. You can only take x common. You can take x common. See here. If you have x by a is equal to x by b, yeah, you can cancel. If you have x by a minus x by b is equal to 0, then you can take out x common and write 1 by a minus 1 by b is equal to 0. You can take out x common and write 1 by a minus 1 by b is equal to 0. That's what we are going to do here also. What are we going to do? We're going to take out this common because it's exactly this here. Okay, so bring it out. Common. So then this becomes 1. This will become 1. 1 by this one. And this also becomes 1 because that's common outside. So 1 by this is equal to 0. Now again LCM. For the fractions inside the bracket, again LCM. So you know that. You know what to do there. Then when you cross multiply, after this you'll have to cross multiply. When you cross multiply, what will happen? This denominator, when you cross multiply, it becomes 0. It becomes 0. So you're left with this one. You're left with this and this one. You're left with these two because this when you cross multiply, it becomes 0. So in the next step, this one vanishes in the next step. So don't worry. I have not forgotten. It's gone. When you multiply by 0, it becomes 0. So now here we have the product is 0. And see, you have x here. You have x here also. What is the question to solve for x? We are solving for x. So what should you do? Equate each expression to 0 and solve for x. Find the value of x. So equate this one to 0, equate this one to 0, equate this one to 0. And you're finding x. So push all the terms that do not have x to the other side. So this one ax and bx, here ax minus bx, push these two terms to the other side. Because it's solving for x. And here also, this one, it has x, both the terms has x. So take out x common. When two terms have x, there should be only one x, no. Both the terms have x in it. And how will you make it one x? Take out x common. Take out x common. If there are two terms with x, you have to solve for x. You'll have to make it only one x. So take out x common. So when you equate it to 0, first here you'll have to transpose these two terms. Here nothing to transpose. Then take out here also you'll have to take x common. X into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So x is equal to a square minus b square by a minus b, which is nothing but a plus b into a minus b by a minus b gets cancelled. X is equal to a plus b, or x is equal to 0. Because x into b minus a is 0. So b minus a will come for division here by b minus a. So it is 0. So x is equal to 0. Everywhere you should write or x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 0. X is equal to a plus b or x is equal to 0. Yeah, try this, children. I'll leave the answer on the screen, but try to do it without seeing. If at all you have a trouble, look at the screen and then take help and continue. So for this question, remember that opposite poles attract each other. So a by b with b by a and b by a with a by b. Yes, online students, try this one. Try to work this by yourself, taking help from the screen, from your screen whenever needed. Done, children here? Yes. Easy? Yes. Any questions? Yeah, girls online. Any questions regarding this answer?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, can't we cancel out the numerator in both, ma'am?
Yeah, you can do that and cancel, but you will lose one value for x. You transpose and you do it. When you cancel, when you cancel this, By taking it on the other side, you lose one value for x. This one, right? You're talking about this one, right, Ananya?
Yes,
Yeah.
ax minus bx minus a square. Yes.
Yeah, when you cancel this, you will lose one value for x. You will not get both the values of x.
So it's better not cancel.
Yeah, you should not cancel the terms that have x in them because you lose the value of x.
Okay.
Yeah. See here, when we cancelled, that was only a plus b. See here, when we cancelled, it was only a plus b. There was no x factor in it. Then you can cancel. Here, there is no x here. There is no x in the first one when we cancelled, a plus b and a plus b. So now you have a doubt like when we cancel here, why not in the sum, present sum? That's because this one is only a plus b. There is no x factor in it. So you are not losing any value for x. A plus b has no x in it, so you can cancel. But here, if you take, this one to the other side and cancel it. If you transpose this, what will happen is equal to, it will become, when you transpose this, it will become this minus on the other side, it will become is equal to, it will look like this, it look like this. And you can cancel these two. But see here, when you're canceling, there's x here. You will lose the value of x. You should get two expressions for x. You will get only one. So you should not cancel. You should have seen this in circles also. Circles, I think the last question in circles, where you have to find the lengths of the sides AB and AC. Circles. Yeah, there also you'll take out x minus 14 or something common. Okay, fine. When we do that, I'll tell you. We never cancel expressions that have, when you're solving for x, you can cancel terms which do not have x or x square in them. But if it has x, don't cancel because you lose one value of x. I think I've just done this in a different way. This is the third one. 4 is also the same sum, but I've just done it in a different way. I think it's the same. A plus B. See here? You have the question with you, just see. Both are the same, right? Yeah, ignore it. One we have understood, so let's not do it again. Yeah. So now this one. This one you have a 2 on the other side is equal to 2. So you're going to write 2 as 1 plus 1. You're going to write 2 as 1 plus 1. And you're going to bring both the ones on to the left hand side. So 2 is 1 plus 1 on the RHS. It comes to the LHS as minus 1 minus 1. It comes to the LHS as minus 1 minus 1. So you take 1. So this 2 is 1 plus 1. On the LHS, it becomes minus 1 minus 1. So take 1 minus 1 with this term. Take the other minus 1 with this term. Yeah, do this now. Take the help of the answer on the screen and do it. So here also you don't cancel. You don't cancel this a minus x plus b because there is x in it. Work this one, children. I'm not explaining this. If you have any question, you can ask me. The idea is 2 is written as 1 plus 1 and transposed as minus 1 and minus 1. Done, children? Any questions? All these standard questions are quite similar. So that idea, one main idea you understand, you remember that, it's easy. And the starting is important. You must remember all this like a story. When there is 2 on one side, you should write it as 1 plus 1, then transpose it as -1 minus 1. Take 1 minus 1 with one term, the other one with the other term. So it should be a story. When you look at this question, you should just, it's like a question answer. When you look at this one, you should answer. You should get that answer in your mind. You're here, online children. Any questions? Priyasha?
No, ma'am.
Ananya, Rajarajeshwari, Sashmin?
No more.
Now tell me. You can guess. Take your time. Don't, I'll ask you. Don't answer. Don't work. Tell me the idea. No, wait. Let all of us think. Wait. Some of us get it instantly. Some of us need 10 seconds. And even they would get the answer. We'll give all of them time. I'll ask you. All the while we've been seeing taking terms to the other side, right? Yeah, 2 becomes 1 and 1 goes. So like that. What you think can happen with this one? Write it in your book. That's the best thing. I won't ask anybody. All of you write down. Online children can write and send the picture to me on WhatsApp. Just the first step. Whether you want to transpose and group what and what. That main idea in the first, in 1 or 2, steps. Not the complete answer. Online students, send it on WhatsApp. Just the first step or the first and the second step. That's all. I don't want you to complete the answer. Yeah, Priyasha. Nice to receive the answer from you, Priyasha. I'll tell you. If you're right, I'll tell you. But I'm happy that you shared the answer. Good. Hitesh. Yeah, boys. Hitesh. Pass out. Onto the ground. Boys have a uniform answer. Girls have a different answer. Okay. Hitesh's is different. Okay, online I've received from Priyasha and Raja Rajeshwari. All right. So most of you are right. Most of you are right. So we'll see it on the next screen. See here. A goes with B, B goes with A. Like A by B goes with B by A, B by A goes with A by B. A goes with B, B goes with A. I think all the girls got it right, right? Yeah. Boys are like same poles attract each other. A attracts A, B attracts B. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, so like we wrote A by B. Hitesh got it right. Hitesh got it right. So like A by B, we put B by A with it. A by B, B by A. So like that A and B. A and B, B and A. Priyasha is right. Raja Rajeshwari is also right. Very good. Yeah, the rest of it is the same story, you know. It's just a start that you have to remember. Then you can see the rest of it is just the same story. Yeah. Yeah, please complete this now. Practice this now. So what happens to this denominator? This denominator? Yeah, when you cross multiply into 0, it's 0. So this one goes away in the next step. So you're solving for x. You're solving for x. So here there are two x terms. So you should take out x common. There are two x terms here. You should take out x common and find the value of x. Is each one of you, all of you get it? No questions? What do you think can be done here? Yeah, yes, yes. Sorry? Yeah, I'll repeat. Okay, so I was asking what happens to this denominator? Cross multiply, what happens? Into 0 is 0. So you have a plus b minus abx. And here we have ax plus bx, ax plus bx, minus 1 is minus 2 is equal to 0. The product is 0. So now you can find the values of x because the product of this expression and this expression is 0. So equate this one to 0. A plus b minus abx is equal to 0. So now this one has x in it. You're finding the value of x. So this one has x. Take this to the other side. Have x alone on one side. Okay, so take to the other side becomes abx. So x is equal to a plus b by ab. A plus b by ab. On the other side, you have ax and bx. So you have two x terms. Then you have two x terms. You have ax and bx. So take out x common. Transpose this and then take out x common. Because there should be only one x term. There are two x terms. There should be only one x. So we should take out x common. A plus b is equal to 2. So x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 by a plus b. 1 minute. Yeah. X is equal to 2 by a plus b. So when you're solving for x, there are two x terms. You should take out x common. And you should not cancel the terms that have x in them. Then you lose one value for x. Yeah, what do you think? Write down the equation and write the first line. Online students can share your answer on WhatsApp. Just the first step or the first two steps. You need not be right. You just have to try. I am not expecting the correct answer from all of you. I'm just expecting an answer, just your thought. What you feel about it, that's all. Think. Yeah, I need to discuss two more word problems. That's my agenda for today's session. So I'll show you the answer for this one. All right. And here it is. You'll have to write 2c by x minus c as c by x minus c, c by x minus c. Write it 2 times. Like what is 2 by a? What is 2 by A? Yeah, 2 by A can be written as 2 by A can be written as 1 by A plus 1 by A. What is 1 by A plus 1 by A? A is the common denominator. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 by A. 2 by A can be written as 1 by A plus 1 by A. Similarly, 2C by X minus C can be written as C by X minus C plus C by X minus C. C by, so you write this one as C by X minus C plus C by X minus C. Both are the same. So take one with the first term, take the other one with the next term. Both are the same. So there's no choice of this goes with this or that goes with that. You just have to write like, so this is similar to that 2 sum. On the RHS, we had 2. We wrote 2 as 1 plus 1. We had 2 in the RHS. We wrote it as 1 plus 1. We took it to the other side as minus 1 minus 1. Minus 1 with one term, the other minus 1 with the other term. Remember? Yeah. So like that here, 2C by X minus C. So we write it as C by X minus C. Okay, so we write this one as C by X minus C plus C by X minus C. C X minus C is a common denominator and C plus C is 2C. 2C by X minus C. See, 2C by X minus C. So they're the same. So when you transpose, take one with this and take the other one with this one. Yeah, you just need to be very patient when you work this. It's very easy. The idea is the same everywhere. It's the same. We'll discuss this in the next class. But by the time I'll share this answer on WhatsApp, go through this and then finish it in your notebook. I'll give you all the instructions on WhatsApp. We'll discuss this in the next class. Yeah, this one also. I'll send this on WhatsApp. This is also important. I'll share all this on WhatsApp. This already we discussed. This one, similar questions we have done in the class. When the power is x plus 1 and all this. Power, these kind of questions we've already seen in the class. I'll share this entire PPT with you on WhatsApp. Go through this and complete this by the time you come to the next class. We'll just discuss 2 word problems for today's class and wind up the session. Yeah. At T minutes past 2 p.m. At T minutes past 2 p.m. Like saying at 10 minutes past 2 p.m. 10 minutes past 2 p.m. meaning 2:10. 10 minutes past 2 p.m. meaning the time is 2:10. All right. So like that at T minutes past 2 p.m. the time needed by the minutes hand of a clock to show 3 p.m. was found to be 3 minutes less than T squared by 4 minutes. Find T. See like this. Now at 10 minutes past 2 p.m. At 10 minutes past 2 p.m. how many minutes are needed by the clock to show 3 p.m.? If the time is now 10 minutes past 2 p.m. So 2:10. Then how many minutes are needed by the clock to show 3 p.m.? 50 minutes. 50 minutes. If the time is now 10 minutes past 2 p.m. So it's 2:10. The next hour is 3 o'clock. After 2 is 3 o'clock. So we need 50 more. The clock needs 50 more minutes to show 3 p.m. So now what do you understand from this? 10 minutes plus 50 minutes is equal to 1 hour. The 10 minutes is that past time. 10 minutes past 2. 10 minutes past 2. So that 10 minutes plus how much is needed for the clock to show the next hour? The 10 minutes plus the time needed by the clock to show the next hour, that is 50 minutes, is equal to 1 hour. 10 minutes plus 50 minutes is equal to 1 hour. So like that here at T minutes past 2 p.m. So like 10 minutes, it's T minutes here. So T plus How much time is needed by the clock to show 3 p.m.? The time needed by the minutes hand of a clock to show 3 p.m. was found to be 3 minutes less, 3 minutes less than t square by 4. So the sum of these two is equal to 1 hour or 60 minutes. You should write 60 minutes because it's t square by 4 minutes. T, and this also is t minutes past 2 p.m. So 10 minutes plus 50 minutes is equal to 60 minutes. Very simple. See here, like 10 minutes plus the remaining 50 minutes will always be 60 minutes. Because it's 10 minutes past 2 and it is 50 minutes to 3. It's 10 minutes past 2 and it's 50 minutes to 3. So 10 plus 50 is 60. In the same way here, what goes with 10 minutes in this question? T minutes. At t minutes past 2 p.m. So 10 minutes goes with t minutes here. The time needed by the minutes hand of a clock to show 3 p.m. was found to be 3 minutes less than t square by 4. How do you write that? 3 minutes less than t square by 4. Correct? So like 50 minutes this is. So the equation is t plus t square by 4 minus 3 is equal to 60 minutes. Or in other words, t minutes plus t square by 4 minus 3 minutes is equal to 60 minutes. You take out the minutes when you're solving and find the value of t. This will give you a quadratic equation. All right, since your parents have come, it's time also. This question also I'll be sharing on WhatsApp. Try this. So finish all that we understood today, plus these two questions. All right, by the time you come to the next class, the next revision class, not the next regular class. All right. Online students, please wait. Yeah, online students, was the class clear as usual? The screen
Yes.
and the voice. Yeah, thank you, Tarun Murali. Good night.
Yes, ma'am.
No issues, right?
No issues.
All right, fine. All right, Priyasha, please stay back. The others may leave the call. Thank you, Sashmin. Good night. Thank you, Raja Rajeshwari. Thank you, Ananya. Good night. You may leave the call. Priyasha,
Thank
please
you.
turn on your video. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Please, yeah, thank you, Sashmin. Good night. Priyasha, kindly turn on your video and you can call your parents, your mom, dad, or both of them if they're available at the moment. I'll just stop the recording. Please wait.
Okay.